Hello and welcome to another Silver Alert, coming to you straight live from, not live, live-ish, pre-recorded from PAX Unplugged 2025 in Philadelphia. I'm with Greg Leatherman from Leatherman Games today, podcaster and game designer. Hi, Greg. How you doing?
I'm good. How are you? How's your con been?
It's been hectic so far, and I've hardly really done anything. So what brings you to PAX Unplugged?
So I'm here as a content creator for my. I have two podcasts. One was Very Random Encounters, which is an actual play podcast. So I meet guests and stuff that we've done before. But I'm also here for Game Mechanics, which is my generalist board game TTRPG industry podcast. So I'm also doing a bunch of interviews with people about the game industry and what they're out on the floor selling and what they're doing in the space.
That's great. Like we were talking earlier, and I got some insight into Greg's thoughts, and we're going to touch on some of those later. The ones we're allowed to touch.
You can touch on any of them.
Okay. So I like to fuck with people, but Greg, you've designed a few games. I played a game of yours a few years ago called Glitter Hearts. Can you talk about that a little bit? What that's about?
So Glitter Hearts is basically my Sailor Moon. That was the inspiration that started it. A bunch of friends wanted to play a Sailor Moon game, and in my typical fashion, I hated everything that was out there. So I'm like, oh, I'll just throw something together real quick. And then a year later, I'm like, I've thrown together an entire game. So I might as well Kickstart it and see what I can do with it. So I wrote Glitter Hearts, and it was my first ever, I'm going to publish an actual game. The unfortunate thing is I funded it at the end of 2019, and when everything was printed and ready to go, it was March of 2020, and that dream went differently. So it was interesting because I couldn't go to cons to promote it. I had to do everything online, but luckily also everybody else was online looking for things to do. So blessing and a curse, both.
Well, it wound up at my table. So,
yeah.
So apparently you sold some.
I sold some. It sells good. I mean, it's done what it's done. It's found the audience that it needed to find, and that's what I wrote it for.
And since then, you came out with the Mystery Business,
yes.
And I like your description for it. If you want to share that with the folks.
Yeah. So Mystery Business is my Scooby-Doo basis game. It has no combat. It's very easy to learn. Basically, on the character sheet, those are all your difficulties. You just have to roll above the number that's on your character sheet. That's it. You can learn the game in about 5 minutes. Super easy to play. And I wanted to write a game that had no combat in it because the source material doesn't have combat in it.
Yeah.
So it didn't make sense to have combat. So I was like, well, what does a game without combat look like? Where's the tension come from? What else? And then that's where Mystery Business happened.
So Shag would be basically the Ranger class, Scooby being the... Yeah. So when did that come out?
So that came out, oh boy, 2 years ago.
And that's at the Indie Press.
That's at Indie Press. Yep.
Okay.
So you can buy it online as well through DriveThruRPG. It has print on demand. But I also made a deal with Indie Press Revolution to get it out into stores and get into cons and that whole thing.
That's great. So after lessons learned from funding a couple of games, was Mystery Business, was that a Kickstarter also?
Yep. That was a Kickstarter, and then my third game was just completed a Kickstarter.
So it sounds like there has been some pain involved with getting these things funded. Can you kind of go into something, because there's a lot of folks that are just designing or coming up with great ideas for games, but getting them out there is going to be challenging, and navigating that whole funding process. Yeah. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah. So Kickstarter doesn't want to help you at all. They don't provide any help. They provide a platform. And what people sort of need to understand is Kickstarter is the best funding platform because 30% of their projects fund. So 70% of projects on Kickstarter go nowhere. So when we say, hey, you can do Kickstarter and fund your game, you really have to be intelligent about it and know what you're coming into. And there's a whole industry now around Kickstarter, social media posts and buying in, and you now need more money to launch a Kickstarter successfully to try to fund what you're doing. Whereas when I did Glitter Hearts and years before that, it was just like, I put no money into this, maybe $500 to make a video, and I'm going to see what happens. We don't live in that world anymore.
So what do you have to go through now? What are the kind of things you have to deal with?
So now you want to have a pre-page and get as many people signed up ahead of time so that when it launches, you have a good first day. The thing about Kickstarter is the first 2 days matter and the last 2 days matter, and nothing else does. You either fund in the first 2 days or you'll fund in the last 2, and everything in between is a wasteland. It is the most frustrating process because you're like at 21 days left and nobody's looking at it, nobody's doing it, and you're always hoping to hit the mythical snowball point where enough people will think, okay, it's actually going to fund, so I will put my money towards it and push it over the edge.
Yeah.
And depending on your project, that snowball point can be anywhere. Because they got really close to not funding Mystery Business, and then I hit enough where enough people are like, oh, it'll probably fund. I will put my money behind it. So in the last 2 days, it funded.
Yes, I've heard that a lot, and I've talked to a few folks that basically they made enough money to actually ship a product, but not enough money to pay the artists, pay the editors, pay sensitivity writers, all those folks, but not enough to pay themselves afterwards. So that's like I think folks have to like walk into this with their eyes wide open about what their prospects are.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't pay myself. I have not paid myself for any of my projects. I don't get paid until everything else is paid for, and then I'm now selling the amount over what I needed to sell to pay everybody else. And that is true across every board game. I just had to do a new order for Indie Press Revolution. I had to order 100 copies. I had to pay all of that up front to ship to them. So until they sell X amount of books, I don't make my money back. So I have like a number in mind, like I need you to sell at least this amount because then I've covered my cost. And that is everybody out there right now.
So super cheery, bright, shiny content we're making here. But it's I think it's better to know kind of going into this and just being able to plan and say how much can I do to alleviate myself, and how much is my passion, or how much do I need to do this to buy baby formula? So
it's a business.
Yeah.
You can't get away from the business part of it. If you just want to make something for people to use, make a free product and put it up on the internet. Like, you don't have to do any of this. You can make a one-page game and say everybody use it for free if that is your goal. But if you want a product, if you want a thing that people hold on their hands, if you want to see it in stores, you have to do the business side of it, and you have to be realistic about what the current business aspects are, and they are not good. Our economy is bad.
Woo! So on to brighter subjects, you've got 2 podcasts.
Yes.
We barely have time to run one. How do you manage that? How do you juggle that?
Well, we have very strict recording times. So for both, we won't go over an hour recording for either. So we have set times. Tuesdays and Sundays when we record at the same time. We've all made the commitment, and we know it's not going to go over an hour. So for us, it's just we have scheduled it in, and we've set aside that time. We're committed to doing it, and we know what the time commitment is. And if it's going to go longer or shorter, we'll talk about it beforehand. Like, we are a cast. We are a group of people who are trying to make something together, and so we just have to talk about it all the time. But we're 9 years for Very Random Encounters. We'll go into 10 soon. So
That's amazing. Yeah.
We have a set schedule. We know what we're doing. We have breaks. We talk in what we need to do. We know the structure of things. So it's really easy for us to do now.
So for folks that wanted something that could babysit them on their commute, which series of yours for your action play would you recommend them start with?
So, for Very Random Encounters, at this point, we have played 38 different games. So I always say if there's a genre that you like, start there. If you want space, we've done space. If you want Star Wars, we've done Star Wars. We've done Star Trek. We've done 3 different flavors of fantasy. We've done horror. We've done anything, any genre that exists. I think the strongest ones, if you want to hear us early on when we really figured out what our show was, I would say listen to Call of Cthulhu, because that's really when we sort of understood what we were doing. I think Tales from the Loop and Things from the Flood are both very accessible, modern-ish games. I think those are great systems. For fantasy, I think Fellowship is probably one of our strongest, because it's all the fantasy tropes, but not trapped to D&D.
Okay.
Our Star Trek episodes was good. We did also Uncharted Worlds for just futuristic sci-fi. I think those are really strong. But again, we have done so many that if there's a genre you like, we have it. Every season's a contained season. Mm-hmm. So
how many episodes are typically?
We average about 20. About. Some are longer, some are shorter. But it always starts the same way. Our whole thing is we randomize everything. So the DM randomizes everything, and all the players randomize everything. So the first episode of every season is all of us as players finding out who we're going to be that season. And then we play until the story is done. So seasons will vary how long that is. Some are shorter, and some are like, we just did a longer one we did Violence Ball, which is sort of a spin on Blood Bowl. And that was about 35 episodes, which is the longest we've ever done.
That's pretty cool. And now your other podcast, Game Mechanics, what kind of topics do you? It's game mechanics,
it's
right?
Game Mechanics.
Spoiler alert.
It's in the name.
Talk about that a little bit.
Yeah, so Game Mechanics, we talk about tabletop and TTRPG experiences, but also the game mechanics in them. So we just talk about, we have a whole wide range of things. We've been talking about how bad everybody's suffering under the tariffs right now, how the business in general is suffering, because America is no longer seen as a trusted partner, because we don't know. Like, I kickstarted a game, it's supposed to come out in May, but I can't tell anybody a price because I don't know what the price will be in May. We are in an administration that is very chaotic, and that's incredibly difficult to plan, and it's really hurting the American market. So we talk about it, because we can't not talk about it. But then we also talk about, hey, if you like this game, don't play that game because it's terrible, play these instead. Like, if you like Monopoly, don't play Monopoly anymore because it's bad. Play these games instead.
So you have opinions.
We have a lot of opinions. If you like Catan, which I don't know why you like Catan, there are other options. There are better options. Stop playing Catan.
I love spicy opinions, so that's great. Listen, Greg, it's been great talking to you. Finally, get to meet you in person. It's been awesome.
Yes.
Folks, I will put links to all of Greg's content, they're both podcasts and all the games in the show notes. So check them out. Buy stuff, buy multiple, send them to your friends.
Yeah.
And thanks again. This is the end of our Silver Alert.